Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Toe the Line with me, George Glinsky. Delighted today to be joined by two-weight world champion Barrie Jones, who fights for a third weight at featherweight, 76 kilograms, on September the 3rd for Jimmy Sweeney's belt. How are we doing, Barrie?
I'm doing fine, thanks. Are you all right?
Very well, very well. And that was something that we've just spoken about there. Obviously, there's a little bit of confusion about the weights. You fought at 79 kilograms last time, winning the lightweight belt against Jimmy Sweeney, but now fighting at 76, you weighed in at 74 kilograms, I have to say. You weighed in at 74, and then you had to go back, drink lots of water, a few bananas, and get back on the scales to make 77 in order for the fight to happen. So from your perspective, fighting at 76 kilograms, a more natural weight, that's got to feel a lot better for you.
Well, I weighed in a bit late last time for my last fight. Came up the day before, forgot my scales, so I wasn't sure what weight I was at. So didn't have a lot to eat. I was all day traveling, and then was in the hotel doing interviews and stuff. So I came in a little bit late. But the only reason I took the fight at 79 kilos is because that's the only opportunity I thought at the time I would get to fight him. So I had to take it. Obviously we were going to have a rematch, but I thought it'd be down at my natural weight, which I should do really.
And this has been something that we've seen throughout your career. I mean, even when you fought Paul Hills again at 79 kilograms, you were way below weight. You overcame the odds again there. So fighting at this new weight, a little bit of an advantage for you in that sense. But regarding this fight, this was a fight in first point you'd gone for so long, a fight that you'd wanted and campaigned for so long. So how much was it as a relief, as you say there, you felt like you needed this opportunity? How much of a relief was it to finally get that over the line and then go in there and shock the world?
It was it was the fight I wanted from the start. When obviously my win out in America got me the fight. And obviously the result, I win the best performance by myself. I wasn't happy with my performance, but the result, I was happy with the result. But I can't wait to do it again.
And you are a stoic figure. You don't give too much away. That's something I've always noticed. Outside of the ring and inside of the ring, you're a very serious man. But there was a lot of emotion showed, something that I hadn't seen from you before after that fight. So how much did it mean to win that fight?
Yeah, it was. It was a tough fight at first, and I haven't been in a tough fight yet. So far, doing Bare-Knuckle, and get through the first two rounds, and I watched it again on video, and it was a lot closer than what I thought. But at the time, I thought I was losing. I was taking a lot of shots. I was a bit wild myself. I'm missing a lot, but to come back from that and get a win, it was great.
As you say, overcoming some adversity in those early two rounds. I believe the scorecards were 2-up to Jimmy at that point, and then you nicked the third and then came through with a finish in the fourth. So what was it that made you switch? Because it almost seemed as though you gave him a little less respect. You came forwards and you completely changed.
I think first two rounds, I think maybe I was trying a bit too hard. I was forcing, and I was throwing too many big single shots, which was quite easy to defend. So once I settled down, started boxing a little bit, my punches started connecting in.
Definitely. And there was a lot of talk coming into that fight about a potential retirement. I know we spoke a little bit about it, and at the end of the fight, you said yourself, what is left to achieve. And I thought you were going to retire then. I was a little bit worried, but you have come back to take this fight. So where are you at in terms of this fight? Obviously, we don't want to look past the obvious result, but providing you win this fight, is there anything left for you?
Well, to be honest, you ask the guys I train with, every last few training camps, I've said, this is my last one. I can't keep putting myself in this. So the fight, even though it was a tough-ish fight, in the next fight, whatever happens in the fight, it's got nothing to do with what I do after it. If I do retire, it's not to do with the result. If I lose or I win, it's how I feel. I'm obviously planning on winning, but whatever I do after it, doesn't determine on the result. Like,
Definitely. In terms of achievements, I mean, this would be your third world title, your level, Jimmy, in terms of world titles, the only two three-weight world champions in the history of the sport. You've gone to America, you've done that, you've conquered that odds, you've beaten the greatest bare-knuckle fighter of all time. So in terms of the bucket list, really, is there anything that you can think of that you'd like to add to it?
well, to be honest, it's hard to get up for fights. That's why I wanted the biggest fight out there. To get me, I need to get motivated for training. Like when I fought in America, that was a great opportunity for me. So, if I win this fight, next fight, I really don't know what's going to happen next. I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you.
And we're back. We lost Barry for a moment there. The Welsh Wi-Fi. I know your pain, Barry. I've lived there before. We were just talking a little bit about changes and adaptations into this coming fight. So, Jimmy, he's changed camps. He's fighting a Golden Team. I know you won't read too much into what your opponent's doing, but in terms of yourself, what have you changed in preparation for the second fight?
Not a lot really. I've watched the fight. Obviously, I know what I need to do again. Well, whether I can do it or not is another thing. But I've trained exactly the same as I always have, really, as well. So obviously we worked on a few things, but all the best to him, really. If he wants to keep training, changing camps, I don't know if that helps. But I've always done everything the same. I'm happy with how I train.
Definitely. Visualization, that's the thing that we always talk about. Most fighters visualize fights and think about how it's going to go, possible situations. When you close your eyes, when you think about this fight, how do you see it going?
Well, to be honest, I haven't really thought about it a lot. Really, I think more about the last fight.
Yeah,
Really, and obviously, he's you sometimes you think what's going to happen in the fight or whatever, but I haven't really thought a lot about it, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? I was just going there and fight. The punches hurt, and that's it, really.
is that usually the case? Do you usually not think too much about fights?
Uh, Sometimes when I'm training, or something, but not a lot. Like I don't think about it much really. Just training, flat out training, and then I haven't got time to think about it really.
Stoic, very
Mm.
stoic. We like that. So, finally, looking at people that have helped you throughout this camp, your journey in BKB so far, who would you like to thank coming into fight night?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my trainers again. I've had the same team behind me ever since the start, and fair play to them. They all out of their own time as well, put a lot of effort in for me, and all my sponsors as well. They help me through when I'm training, like so you're not in work, so they help you out a lot. Like, so I'd like to thank all my sponsors and my trainers as well.
Well, Barry, always an honor to speak to you, my man, and best of luck on the 3rd of September.
Thank you. Thanks, George.